Networking as a data analyst can feel so daunting and useless at times. You might have a GitHub, a LinkedIn, have all the right skills, but you don't know where to look, and it's easy to feel stuck. How do you actually meet people in your field? How do you find open source projects? How do you make connections that actually lead to real job opportunities? Recently, I came across a great Reddit post that summed up this frustration perfectly. How do you network? I have a GitHub, but I have no idea how to find data analytics buddies or any open source projects to contribute on. GitHub search is trash and I can't find anything on the web. And I found some incredible responses in that thread, so I wanted to combine that with the best insights and then turn this into a video to help you navigate networking data analytics to see what's actually working for other people who are looking for jobs and are going through the same thing. I'll also link the original Reddit post in the description below, so check that out. My name is Jeff and I've been in data analytics in some form of it for 15 years when I first started as a temp, then worked my way up to where I am currently as a business analyst consultant at a Fortune 5 company. Also, I've helped on the hiring side and I know exactly what works when it comes to networking and data analytics. So if you're serious about breaking into this field, hit that subscribe button because I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Now let's break down how to actually network as a data analyst, even if you don't know where to start. So this was a compilation of different people talking about where to find data analytics communities, answering that question for how to find data analytics buddies. One of the biggest things that people mentioned and one of the top voted comments was Tableau user groups. I didn't even know about this, but there are gold mines for networking with other analysts. They have in-person, hybrid, and remote events where you can meet people from all experience levels. And it's not just about Tableau, it's about connecting with others in the field. So one of the things that I'll do in the future is I'll go out to one of these events to start networking with different people, just so that I can start meeting more people. And plus, I need to get out there to learn new skills because I'm upskilling currently. So I'll let you know and report back how effective that is, but it's something new and outside of like the typical advice that you hear. The other thing that people mention, and this is something that I personally done in the past, was meetup groups. So meetup.com, they have a great app. I've gone to meetups for everything from rock climbing, entrepreneurship, to networking for data analytics, and then digital marketing. Everything that you can think of, you could probably find on meetup.com. Just download the app. Hopefully they have it in your area or your city. They might not. So unfortunately, it depends on where you are. So apps like Meetup let you find local data focused events, lectures, also learning groups. If you're in a big city, there's a big chance that there's a data science, analytics, or Python meetup that's gonna be happening next to you. And if not, you always have the option of attending different virtual conferences that people are hosting. And this is one of the things that I forgot. You can also find free events on Eventbrite for people that are hosting, trying to get their business out there, and then they try to host a meetup with like-minded people. This could be data focused, but I've done it for other things that revolve around business. So you could just search on there, search for free events, and my guess is this is going to come up as well for data analytics and data science. And then another place to search is going to be LinkedIn, Twitter. So LinkedIn is not just for job hunting, it's also a networking powerhouse. I've actually joined a lot of the different analytics groups. I've never done any of the in-person meetups, but you can just search for data analysts and find all of these different groups, and then you can start connecting with professionals. So now let's cover some of the unconventional ways that people talked about when they were networking. One of the common threads that we saw was hobby-based networking. You don't have to network in data-specific spaces. A surprising number of tech professionals are into different things. You just have to see in your area where you can find more data-specific people, but you can look for things like running, cycling, triathlons. Recently, we started rock climbing, and then you can find a community based on one of your shared interests to see if that leads to unexpected career opportunities. They don't have to be data specific or data analytics. They just have to be adjacent or know and be in tech or some type of related field to help you get into a new department and into a new opportunity. One of the most interesting replies is one data scientist landed his job through a YouTube channel about card collecting. His connections from that hobby led him to an opening in data science, and then the rest is history from there. So you never know what opportunities from what shared interests that you have that'll open the door for you. So if you're serious about getting into data science, check all of these avenues and because it's also stressful, get out there and do something physical just to get your mind off of how stressful it can be. And then at the same time, you can network and see what avenues and what hobbies there might be more people that you can meet. Now, different comments, and you might have heard this before when trying to get into open source projects. And Kaggle also has competitions that are also a great way to collaborate on projects and meet like-minded analysts. The other thing that you can do is whenever there is not something that's inside my life, what I like to do is I like to create and share my own work and then make the opportunities for myself. One person just does the same thing, and one of the replies talked about how they landed a job when they created a dashboard, shared it with someone else who posted a related statistic, and then that person ended up hiring them because they shared their content in that dashboard. So never underestimate the power of sharing your work online and creating an audience. Even if you're not doing it for content like I am, like as a creative outlet and just to get my thoughts out there, if you're going to do it for networking, you only need like one connection to get you a job. So the fact that you're posting what you're learning, it's a way to reinforce what you're learning, maybe make it fun if you like presenting and you like digging into data science and making content. But then on top of that, it's also serving as a portfolio piece, and it can be a way for you to network when you're not there because they're consuming your content. So one of the things that could happen is that you could go through all of this and then find out that you're in a city that just doesn't have a lot of data analysts, a lot of data analytics, data science people. What you're gonna have to do is you're going to have to grit creative and be a lot more proactive. One of the things I've noticed in terms of motivation and keeping me towards my goals and making sure that I achieve my goals is creating a support system of like-minded people. When I don't have that, what I've done in the past is I've created it on my own. When I was in high school, I wanted to breakdance. I wanted to become better at breakdancing. I didn't have that many people around me that breakdance. And then eventually I just created the crew on my own and then started meeting people at dances and battles and then started creating a network that way. That was one of the ways that I was able to do that. Same with meetups. When I was learning digital marketing and I wanted to become better at digital marketing, I created a meetup surrounding that. Same with confidence, same with a lot of other skills that I wanted to gain. I created the group myself and I became the host. This is another great way to network because you being the host, you have control and you get to be memorable and well known by everybody. You get to be that connector. So if you already know people in data analytics or just friends in tech or just jobs that are interesting that it would be worth you networking with, consider starting regular meetups. I've had friends who successfully did this. They would set up consistent happy hours where people from different areas, different departments could meet, network, and just hang out. So over time, what this happened is my one friend was able to connect us from a bunch of different departments, and then we would just walk over to the closest hotel bar, and then he would introduce everybody to each other who didn't know, who hasn't met yet. And then from there, I got to meet a lot of friends that I'm friends with today that have helped me progress in my career. So if any of your friends or the company is hosting these meetups, these happy hours, these dinners, just go to them, see what you can get out of it. Even if you think you might not be able to get anything out of it, always just put yourself out there because you never know who'll show up. It might not be somebody who's from the company. It could be a friend of a friend. It could be somebody who's just in the lobby at the same time that you strike up conversation with. That could lead to a connection, a business connection, could lead to a client. There's been so many times where I've struck random conversations in like a lobby when we're out, and then that's led to an opportunity from a business client to a freelance client to just a connection to one of my friends that I didn't even know that we had that connection with. And then they became somebody in my life that now I could reach out to. From the original happy hours that I went to, it turned into a few job opportunities. I didn't take them, but they were offered to me because of these happy hours. So if you have no existing group that fits what you're looking for, don't wait, be proactive and start creating it yourself. Networking isn't about sending LinkedIn requests. It's about being visible, engaging with the right communities, and sharing your work and putting yourself out there. If you want your job search to get to the next level, check out my next video on why you're not getting hired in data analytics and how to fix it fast. So check that out.